When I was a little girl, all I wanted to be was a scientist. I believed that if I became one, I could genuinely help the world, and that science was the language of truth. At school, we were beginning to be educated, or rather indoctrinated, around the narrative of global warming. I couldn't help but think that if the world was heating up, why weren't we changing the systems that we were living in? Why weren't we doing everything in our power to live differently? I dropped out of school feeling hopeless, but the dream stayed alive, and I returned to earn my master's degree in molecular biology. My thesis explored how genes regulate the color in plants, and I used techniques such as transient gene modification to do so. I saw the power and potential that the application of genetic modification had, but I also saw how easily that power could be used without respect for life itself. Inside the labs and boardrooms, I found a world not guided by genuine care or generosity for science, but by patents, profits, and competition. Genetic technology isn't evil, but the hands steering it are often bound by money, not morality. Now, the New Zealand government is preparing to relax long-standing regulation in terms of genetic modification, safeguards that once set us apart. These standards weren't about fear of progress. They were about humility, acknowledging that once we alter living systems, the effects ripple far beyond what we can predict. To remove these boundaries isn't bold innovation, it's hubris. It hands biological power to corporations whose first priority is profit. It turns our land and food into test sites and not taonga. I remember marching against GE as a child, believing that we were protecting something sacred. And now I watch those same doors be quietly unlocked despite massive opposition. Maybe it's time we ask ourselves deeper questions. How did we hand so much power to so few? Who is the government really serving? How do we reclaim science as a form of truth and not exploitation? And how do we remember that this country is not a corporation? It's a living collective of land, people, and future generations who deserve genuine honesty and care.